more than me. My colleague Christy from the Smart City team, she handles communication. I will give the punchline later. There's something I'll tell about her. But I'm representing Greater Chennai Corporation, Smart City, and all the different people who have made these things possible. Because every time I'm like, I don't know, the marketing person of Smart City. So it sounds like I single-handedly took cement, I single-handedly took steel, and single-handedly made things happen. That's not, you know this, it doesn't work that way. It takes thousands of people's, millions of hours of painful suffering to move a stone from here to here in India. So it's a tough thing. That's one thing. So usually in a gathering like this, I've spoken in front of school kids, I've spoken in front of Rotaries, industry associations. I always spend, let's say, half an hour asking people something. But here, since the lack of time, I'll spend only 5-10 minutes. So usually what I do is I ask people to imagine that you're the mayor. Yesterday you got elected, right? Big victory. The whole city is now expecting you to fix problems. Okay, they voted for you, that's it. Now, I usually spend half an hour asking you, if you're a mayor, what would you do? You know, different people will say, I'll give you 2 minutes, for example. Quickly tell me, you're the mayor right now. What are the problems of Chennai you would solve?
Traffic.
There are no right answers, by the way. Okay.
You first need funds. You need money first to start things.
Fine.
Beautiful waterways.
Waterways, waste management,
Drainage facilities.
drainage facilities, toilets,
Beautifying the waterways.
beautifying the waterways. That's it?
All in the same.
Walkways, parks,
Wheelchair access.
wheelchair access. Okay, so I'm sure if I spend half a day here, we'll keep coming up with newer and newer problems. So just to, the point of the next 5 minutes is nothing profound, but it's actually something that we all as Indian citizens need to understand. So, assume I'm your advisor. So ma'am, you said finance, right? Okay. So I'll say, sir, madam, I'm the advisor in corporation, and madam, I'll say, the only thing you can do is property tax. All the rest of the money comes from center and state. Okay, fine. Somebody said transport. Let's take transport as an area. Now, depending on which city you visited, if you ask me which is a city I would like to be, Hong Kong, Singapore, Shanghai, etc., etc. Some people say, no, I went to Houston. Roads are huge roads, very road. I'll show something here later, but those set of two baskets of cities belong to two different philosophies. So let's assume a Tidal Park Junction. So he's the mayor. So he's complaining as a citizen. Tidal. So as an advisor, I'll tell him, sir, that's highway. Your corporation may. That depends on highway department. Not even highway department, it belongs to a company under the highway department, right? Sorry, okay. Somebody said waterway. Let's assume you meant Kuam, right? Sir, because that belongs to PWD. Yeah? Somebody is living near Velacheri Lake, say, madam, sir, Velacheri Lake, Singapore Mari Pandi Kudunga. As an advisor, I will tell them, sir, that's PWD. Ambattur Lake is PWD. Korattur Lake is PWD. The point I'm trying to make is not that advanced cities, everything is under the mayor. I don't mean that at all, right? There'll always be multiplicity of organizations. But the advanced cities have processes to coordinate. So simple example I'll give you, right? Now I told you about Houston and Atlanta on one side. And I used to live in the US for a long time. So in those cities, even to buy tomatoes and potatoes, you have to get into your car, drive 5 miles to Walmart, and buy potatoes, right? That's also fine, nothing wrong with it. I don't like it, by the way, okay? Now you may like it. You may say, I have Mercedes Benz, I want to go to buy potato in my Mercedes Benz. But that's a philosophical issue, not an engineering issue. Adhe Mari, I'll say Hong Kong. I go walking and I can buy potatoes, right? Next door, right? Now let's take, so depending on who you ask, you're the mayor, you ask the Houston NGO, Houston Maripondo, which means tidal roads problems can be solved by widening the road, making it bigger, putting a flyover, right? I already told you that road doesn't belong to you. So mayor, as a mayor, you can't do much. Now if you ask the Hong Kong type NGO, We have friends in ITDP, etc., who will say we need more buses, bus rapid transit system, we need railways, etc., etc. Now, one by one, if I were to take, I'll say MTC bus is a state level organization. Railways is a central government organization. Mayor has nothing to do with it. You can't call a railway and say, who's the trainer putting it, right? Metro Rail, by the way, I'm a number one fan of Metro Rail. I'm super happy that Metro Rail is coming to Chennai, more is coming. That also is a state and central government agency. So one by one, if you see, you can figure out, if you just do a mental mapping one day, if you have nothing else to do, just ask yourself, what are the citizens, what are the services you enjoy? Water, metro water, state level. Electricity, state level, and so on, right? But mayor can do solid waste management. It comes under the city. This road, the Radhakrishna Sale, is corporation. So some things corporation can do, many things corporation cannot do. So the gist, this I usually spend half an hour, 1 hour to demolish everybody's dreams. Okay, people say all kinds of big dreams. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy half an hour just destroying people's dreams, because only then we can build new dreams. No, your dreams has to be based on something credible that can be achieved, not simply saying I'll go to Venus tomorrow morning or something like that, right? So since I don't have time, I have 5 minutes. I've ruined your life. So. The fundamentals, if you walk in an Indian city, this is my personal opinion, and I'm sure many support me. One of the biggest challenges of our cities and towns, if you ask people, they'll say Makkal Serilla, Ivru Serilla, Avru Serilla, Chennai Makkal Serilla. You go to Guwahati, they'll say Guwahati Makkal Serilla. You go to Surat, they'll say Surat Makkal Serilla. The problem is not Makkal. Makkal are same. Every city has gone through this. If you look at the Stockholm cities pictures from the 60s, it looked like our old Pondicherry. Hardly any place to walk. It's full of cars, just mess. People are walking at the next to the shop, little itty-bitty footpath. Same place looks terrific now. All tourists like to go post-COVID, surge in tourism and all that. The problem is, we are a highly centralized country. Extremely centralized for an amazingly vibrant democratic country that we are. And I love that. I love the fact that we are a democracy. I love our democracy, I don't want to live anywhere else. But we are a highly centralized country. And until when that is solved in the long run, not much can change. If everything, a person in the city has to talk to 10,000 different agencies in center and state and so on and so forth, including financing, by the way, right? It cannot be done. See, we always love to talk about London mayor and this mayor and that mayor. So I'm not talking about democracy versus dictatorship. Singapore, depending on who you ask, it's a democracy or a dictatorship. It's a decentralization. It's all at the city level, which means the mayor can tell them, even in some cities in India, it's like that. The bus company is owned by the mayor, city, not by the state or center. So which means in tidal case, if you do a proper analysis, you will realize that people didn't pop up in tidal magically. Cars didn't appear out of thin air in the middle of Tidal Park, the junction. It came from Melacheri, it came from T Nagar, it came from St. Thomas Fount, or wherever, right? So putting something here, road widening there, has no meaning. Yes, you're shifting the problem from here, this junction to that junction to somewhere else. Which means you need more buses from various places. Which means next metro rail has to be through Tidal Park. Which means carrot and stick. These are the carrots, the nice buses, the nice metro rail. The stick is the parking. Parking is under the mayor in Chennai, right? So if you live in New York City, suburbs of New York City, you go take your family, watch a movie in New York City and come back. You have only two choices. You can take your car and pay through your nose, or you can take public transport. Same thing. And there are multimillionaires who are taking public transport and going Lincoln Center and watching somebody sing and dance and come home. So the point I'm trying to make is, each individual agency cannot do something. So there are institutional structures in the city that say, look, I'll create a common plan. Okay, which means a bus, okay, you bus metro rail, you increase parking charges, you do the congestion charge wherever the destination, where it's the magnet for all these cars and so on. So that's the bigger philosophical problem of India.